Hello. Today I'd like to go over the Machscreen 4 screen editor on Mach3 version 062. I was using Mach3 and I wanted to modify the screen for easier use. What I did was I made the toolpath screen larger. I added the X and Y limit switches indicators from the diagnostic screen. I left everything intact. I just cut and pasted. I took the buffer load once again from the diagnostic screen. I'd like to see what my computer's doing, how much load is on it. Works really well. I'm using the ESS smooth stepper, which has a pretty good buffer, and this thing hardly moves. The toolpath screen has the original buttons with the original functions, and I just resized them. I took the machine coordinates, current position, labels, LEDs, and reference buttons, all from the diagnostic screen, and they fit nicely underneath the toolpath. Inches and millimeters. I took that off the settings tab, left everything intact, and that's a nice feature to have to see where the machine is at. The torch, which I'm using output number 1 on the ESS, I took that light, relabeled it, and made one heck of a torch button with a blinking light. As well as the torch, because I'm using the MO GOP code, GO4 is the dwell, I took that from the diagnostics as well. This way you could see the dwell happening, torch come on. While the dwell is active, none of the DROs move. That enables me to make my pierce. Currently, the Z-axis is off because I don't have a THC yet. The speed, the override LED are all resized along with the elapsed time and put under the G-code window. G-code, M-codes, I left those the same, but I'd like to clean these windows up, maybe put some torch tip part numbers in this unused space or any other particular information that I need easily I can get. Okay, let's take a look at the, one more, MDI. Put the MDI from the MDI tab. Doesn't take up too much room. And I found that to be really useful because sometimes you just want to jog around or see what the machine's doing, and that would work without changing tabs. The ability to run programs on this setup without changing tabs makes the machine really useful and easy to use. Okay, let's reference X. You'll see the limit switches and home come on. It'll drive 10 millimeters off on both axes. The indicators will turn green on a reference. Alright, they're same here, same function here. Now you could reset everything. I like the 0 tab, which came from the diagnostics page. This way you get all your coordinates, the machine, otherwise you got to switch back and forth. It's one less step. There you go. Everything's zeroed and you're 10 millimeters off each axis. Alright, I'm going to load a G-code, but before I do, I want to show you something. I'm going to switch this to inches, and I'm going to load a metric program and see this switch back to millimeters. It's always good to see what the machine is in. I found out the hard way. Alright, Mach3 reads several lines ahead, and one of the lines that it just read is G21. That's metric, and it changed the machine back to millimeters. The other code I mentioned earlier is the M04 G04 P125. Okay, torch on, dwell, delay. That allows me to pierce. Everything's good. Let's make a cut. This large toolpath screen is great. All right. One more thing before I cut. The tail of my G-code program, M05 shuts off the torch. G00 rapid movement back to 0. Now in Mach 3 you could zero the table anywhere you like. It doesn't have to be 10 millimeters off the corners. That's just what I chose. You could zero the table further out from X and further out from Y if you have a lot of remnants. If you have a lot of remnants, that's a nice feature because you're rewinding the program and you're hitting the start cycle. Each time you strip the table, you load the table, and that works really well. It's easy to use. Once again, you're not changing screens. I hardly change screens anymore at all. All right, let's make a cut. Mach 3 software for the hobbyist at the price can't be beat. The support team people, I'd have to say, are the best on the planet. They respond. Their webpage has a ticket number where you could send them. They get back to you fast. The price for the software is great, and you could do a lot of things with this. The original handheld controller that came on a Chinese machine really didn't work that well, and I wound up frying it. I cooked it because I used a high frequency start plasma, and first I was upset, but I have to say it's been about 100 days and this thing works like a champ. It does anything and everything. The Mach 3 people, the Warp 9 smooth stepper people, those are the people you want to deal with because they care, they make a good product, and they know what they're doing. Now you can see the buffer load is hardly anything. You got the elapsed time. I'd like to add a torch on elapsed time so I could get some kind of idea of how my consumables are doing. And this thing works pretty good. If you're going to set up a machine, I'd go with the smooth stepper and Mach 3. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.